What's going on YouTube? This is PyroTakun, and I am here bringing you this video titled Nintendo is the best and the worst video game company I know. So let's go ahead and get started with the reasons why I think Nintendo is the best video game company I know. And I think, it's pretty straightforward with their first party games and the way Nintendo continues to, come out with different innovative controllers and different ways that we play games. Alright, there's a reason why Nintendo was able to survive the N64, GameCube, and Wii generations with very little third-party support. There's a certain essence to Nintendo games that keeps fans like myself coming back for more and more, and I'm certain that other Nintendo fans feel the same way. It seems like there's a magical experience that can only be found when I play a new 3D Mario, a new Zelda, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Smash Bros, Pokemon game, etc. And with every new system Nintendo releases, we see a different controller. The NES brought us the D-pad, SNES brought the diamond button layout and the shoulder buttons, N64 brought along the analog and the rumble, GameCube brought us the separated dual stick layout, and the Wii brought us motion controls. All these features have been used in Sony and Microsoft controllers, so it's pretty safe to say that Nintendo knows what they're doing when it comes to controllers, and it definitely helps that they build their gaming experiences around the controllers. Just look at Super Mario 64 and Skyward Sword to see what I'm talking about. Between the games and the ways Nintendo continues to change the way we play them, I'll always be a Nintendo fan. With that being said, there's definitely a lot of stubborn decisions that have really crippled the company and its image over the years with third parties and gamers. The first thing is N64 not using CDs. The N64 was a great system and had some of our favorite games of all time, but the third-party support was practically non-existent because Nintendo went with cartridges, which were more expensive and had less memory space available. Nintendo never would have lost major third-party games like Final Fantasy VII if they had gone with CDs. Nintendo's reason for using cartridges was they needed to combat piracy. It worked, but it wasn't worth losing all their third-party support to Sony's PlayStation 1, which dominated the 64. Next mistake is pretty much a repeat of the N64 with the GameCube and mini discs. Sony moved on to DVDs, which was really taking off and becoming a standard, and the Big N is still combating piracy with weird physical media. I loved the GameCube and I stick by it, but there's no denying the PS2 walked all over Nintendo for the second generation in a row. Hell, even the GameCube lost out to Microsoft's Xbox, which was carried by Halo 1 and 2. So now we move on to the current console generation with the Wii. The system sold more than the PlayStation 3 and the 360, and there was a clear improvement in third-party support when compared to the 64 and GameCube. But the difference between the third-party support on the Wii and the third-party support on PS3 and 360 was a whole world of difference. The system was ridiculously underpowered compared to the other two consoles, and the online was a complete mess for the most part. Nintendo missed out on a lot of good third-party support just because of those reasons right there. And now we have the Wii U, Nintendo's next-gen system. Nintendo's attempt to bring both the core and the casual gamers of all types onto one console, and Nintendo's attempt to get all the third parties to bring their games to the Wii U. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of small and some big features missing to really make this happen. Let's start with what the Wii U is doing right. The controller. Like I said earlier, Nintendo knows controllers, and this looks like the jack of all trades. It has your traditional controls. 2 clickable analog sticks, 4 shoulder buttons, 2 of them are triggers, D-pad, diamond button layout. It has a 6-inch single-touch touchscreen, gyro controls, front and back cameras, mic, NFC reader. Basically every way you could play a video game, the Wii U controller has it. It has backwards compatibility with the Wii, so it has Wii controllers too. So Wii remotes, nunchuck, classic controllers are there too. Nintendo even made a Wii U Pro controller that strongly resembles the 360 controller to really tempt, the PS3 and the 360 gamers. Aside from controls, the Wii U's coming out of the gate with a good lineup. Nintendo games like Nintendo Land and New Super Mario Bros. U is definitely going to get a lot of love from Nintendo fans. And then you got third-party games like Zombie U, Assassin's Creed 3, Black Ops 2 that's going to grab the attention of the PS3 and the 360 gamers. As it stands right now, the controls and the games look pretty damn good. But now we get into issues with the Wii U. I've already made a whole video about the CPU, so I'm not going to talk about it here. So now we come across memory. Memory is an issue here. It's either 8 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes, depending on what version you get. Standard is 8, Deluxe 32. If you get Deluxe, then you also get this premium shop service where you get a discount whenever you download games. Now it's definitely good, sounds great and everything, and it's good that Nintendo's pushing downloadable games. But keep in mind, games this generation were about like 6, 7, or 8 gigabytes on average. And that's a lot of space when you take in consideration you only got 8 or 32 gigabytes to deal with. And also keep in mind that these current generation games were about like 30 frames a second, and they were sub HD, like they weren't even 720p native. The Wii U is going to be 1080p native at 60 frames a second. The read-write rates on the SD cards or external hard drive running through USB 2.0 is not going to be fast enough for you to get a smooth experience when you play it through those devices. So the next set of issues I'm going to talk about is the backwards compatibility with the Wii. Now, there's several, like, these are very small things, but when you add them all together, it makes backwards compatibility seem not really that appealing. So, it's got Wii backwards compatibility for the most part, but it's not going to upscale any of the Wii games. There's no GameCube support, so no GameCube controllers, no GameCube games, and you can't play games on the Wii U gamepad. Like, let's say you're playing something that just uses traditional controls, like you can play something like Monster Hunter or Sonic Colors, which you could play with a Classic Controller Pro. You won't be able to do that on the Wii U gamepad. It has to be played through the TV. And then next, you can't play games with the Wii U Pro controller. It just has to be with the Wii Remote Nunchuck Classic Controller Pro. Basically the stuff that you could basically only your Wii accessories. Now, none of these things by themselves is a big issue at all. In fact, if only one of these things was missing, it would be practically no issue at all. But when you add all these together, it seems backwards compatibility just isn't really that big of a deal. It's not really like worth it, and especially with a company like Nintendo that has such like a rich history of games. This is kind of sad that it's going to be, well, first off, missing the GameCube compatibility, but when you transfer over your Wii games, like if you downloaded WiiWare games, that you're going to be stuck with these limitations, or if you play games on your Wii U, you're going to be stuck with these limitations. It's just really sad for a company that has such a rich history in where backwards compatibility could be a real killer. It could be a real system seller. It could be. And now we're going to get into some of the bigger issues. What everyone's been talking about lately is the no cross-game chat and, the Wii U Pro controller having no headset jack. Now, as we all know, there's no cross-game chat. The game chat is, game by game. If I'm playing Call of Duty, you're playing Call of Duty, we can talk to each other. That sort of thing. Nintendo's leaving it up to the third parties to implement game chat themselves. Now, this is going to be no big deal for Nintendo fans, You're not used to it. You're getting, a better game chat than what we've had on the Wii. Even though the Wii had game chat, it was capable of it. Basically, it's the same thing, but now we're going to get it on the Wii U. So, I mean, it's not a big loss to us Nintendo fans. But keep in mind, this console is meant to bring everyone together. It's made to grab third parties and, PS3, 360 gamers and get them to play on the Wii U. So not having cross game chat, it is going to hurt Nintendo with some of these sales. It's going to make people not want to get the Wii U. Like, that's what it comes down to. Again, for Nintendo fans like me and a lot of you guys that watch my videos, it's no big deal. But when you look at the overall picture of what Nintendo's trying to do, it's really going to cripple them. So it just made no sense not to have it right there day one. Now, I know the Wii U has a lot of RAM. I definitely hope they did not pull a Sony with the PS3, make it so the hardware is not capable of doing cross-game chat at all. I definitely don't think that's the case, and I definitely think Nintendo's going to implement it later on. I mean, they're just going to realize what they did with no cross-game chat was wrong. So I definitely think they'll add it later, but to not have it as a day one feature, it's just not good. Now the next part, the Wii U Pro controller has no headset jack. Now this is kind of a big deal, kind of not a big deal. Everyone's saying you can just plug in your headset into the Wii U gamepad, put it on side, play with the Pro Controller. You can have a wired headset hooked up to your system. You know, both of those are alternative solutions. Yes, they both work. And you know, some people are even suggesting buying a wireless headset. Now, right now, there's I think only one wireless headset confirmed to be compatible with the Wii U. It's the Afterglow wireless headset. What I bought, I just unboxed it. I'm using it to record this video, and it's working. It works pretty sweet. But the thing is, this headset, this wireless headset, the only one confirmed right now, $90. $90. You're suggesting people go out, spend $90 on top of the Wii U, which is going to be $300 or $350 depending on what you get, depending on, you know, how many games you get, which can be anywhere from like $40 to $60. That's a lot of money to be spending, and then to be going out and buying a $90 headset. That's kind of, you know, asking a lot of people. Some people just definitely don't have money like that. I mean, really, there should have been a headset jack in the controller, in the Wii U Pro Controller, day one. I mean, it should just be there. Nintendo is trying to bring in all these PS3 360 gamers, but then they want to leave out some of these features that they're used to, that they're accustomed to. So it just seems like a real ass backwards decision to not have that headset jack in that controller. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love Nintendo, and I want this to be the only system that not only I go to, but I want it to be the only system everyone goes to. I want everyone to go to the Wii U because it's got the first-party games, it's got the third-party games. You know, I want it to have like all the features you would expect from a current-gen and a next-gen system, but it's not looking like it's going to come out of the gate with all those features. And it looks like it's going to come out of the gate missing some current-gen features, and that's going to be a real issue for some people, you know, on the fence that might want to get it. You know, Nintendo's trying to bring in the 360 and the PS3 crowd, but then they're not giving them features that they're already used to from this current generation. And that's just really going to hurt them in the long run. Now, I know Nintendo can go in, they can remedy these features, you know, fix them later on, but then the Wii U will kind of be looked at like the 3DS at launch. Like, the 3DS launch was really weak. It came out the gate, you know, missing games and features. It definitely came out the gate with like no features at all. Now, of course, we look at the 3DS now, and it's great. It has all sorts of stuff. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Wii U later on is going to be great. It's going to have a lot of features I'm talking about here that are missing. You know, I definitely think there's going to be cross-game chat later on with an update. But right now, to come out the gate missing current-gen stuff is just not good. It's just not good. It's not going to help Nintendo reel in, you know, the crowd that they want to bring with the Wii U. So, there you have it. This video. Why Nintendo is the best and the worst video game company I know. I love them. They know video games, they know controllers, they know how to change how we play, but they just make some dumbass decisions sometimes. And you know, I can't just sit there and pretend like everything Nintendo does is great, because it's not. Like I said, I already pointed out some of their, you know, mistakes and how it hurt them, and it just looks like missing some of this stuff at the Wii U launch is just going to hurt them in the long run. But like I said, they can easily remedy these things later on, but it's just going to be kind of stumbling at the start from what I'm saying. PyroTakun, out.